Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is V. Krishna Mohan. Today we are going to dive into the question of who am I? Are we are we really thinking, or are we really getting into the question of who am I, or is it more of what can I become, or what can I transform myself into? Because in this journey, or in this fast-paced world, right, we have fundamentally forgotten to come to this question, who am I? Instead of that, we are running behind what I can become, because it's always it has been like this, right? If you try to question yourself, when was last you tried to understand yourself, or tried to ask yourself who you are really? Because in that question itself, what we generally do is, if we ask who am I, then you get to the truth of it. Let's say, for example, I'm very scared, or I'm very shallow person. The moment I kind of get to that point where I think I'm a shallow person, or I'm a weak person, then I'll start immediately ask self that how can I become strong, or how can I overcome that shallowness of me, right? So instead of getting into the actuality, we are trying to transform ourselves every moment. And if we do this, we end up in the conflict. Why? Because you haven't gotten into the root of it, of the problem. Before that, you're jumping into the a different transformation. So you're jumping from one illusion to other illusion. So you're never even stepping into the reality. So are we really looking into the question of who am I, right? um, and there's also this aspect to it, right? So whenever we want to know that truth of it, we never try to never try to get into it. Rather, we try to safeguard ourselves. So what kind of safeguards are we doing, right? So either we want to set into a group, we want to show ourselves we are part of a certain group, so that we are getting escape as in we are not facing the truth, so we are escaping from that. So for that, we attach ourselves with some specific identity, like any kind of identity, either groups, or a specific organization, or some religion, some caste, some so and so. Let's say if you're working in a company, you associate yourself with a set of group, or with set of friends, right? Whomever you think they are strong from your perspective. So we are always jumping from one thing to other thing. So from one religion, from one region to other region, from one caste to other caste, and so on. So when is this going to end? Because you'll be always running, and you'll never be able to hit the truth. And the fundamental thing which is driving you is fear. Is it possible for us to accept everything? What is the problem in accepting everything? Why are we always running behind the expectations of being in always a positive, or which we call it as betterment? There's nothing called as betterment. So what is better? Because everything is derived from the society. Without the society norms, or without the society influences, can you decide on something? Is it possible for you to think without these kind of society implementations or influences on your brain? Is it possible to completely accept who you are, how you are, and what you are? Okay, period. So that's one thing what we are trying to create. um, the next part is, whenever we want to look into who am I, when is this question at all arising, right? So there's the other part where this question itself is being pushed or pressurized onto you by the society, or by the social media influences. Because question, until someone is feeding it to your mind, or unless you are feeling very low, or you're going into a very hardships, right? Or you're going through hurt. So when you're going through hurt or relationship hurt, you ask this question, like, who are you? What am I? Right? And you start blaming yourself based on the things happened around you. So all these are brain or mind games, or mind illusions, we can say. So it's very important for us to get back to the very basics, and just think through without any kind of assumptions or trying to push or put ourselves into the limelight, or such things. We have to stop it. Be blunt, be raw, and accept yourself. Because the moment you try to accept yourself, just because now I'm saying you need to accept yourself, you shouldn't push yourself or pressurize yourself to that state. But when you naturally accept yourself, you will get into the root of it, and the transformation starts there. And any kind of emotions which we're going through, everything is a reaction. And why are these reactions happening? Have we ever really thought? Because when I'm angry, the moment when I ask myself, where is this anger coming from, or what is the source of this anger, before entering into the root cause, you blame on the other person or the situation or the other things, and you say, okay, for so and so reason I'm angry, and you're trying to validate it. And at the same time, what you're doing is you're trying to view yourself different from the person who is anger. So you're only angry basically, but you say no, I'm angry. It's like that specific person is angry. You and anger are not different. Whatever emotion you're going through, it's you. The anger is you. So you need to understand this, and you should not see when you're angry you as a different person, and the person who is in anger is a different person. That's not true. And everything is a choice, right? Even anger is a choice. Any kind of emotion is a choice. For example, you're very angry on a specific person. Let's say you called up someone and they have pissed you off, and you are completely in anger with them, and you want to burst out that. But this call you have taken in a workplace or a public place, somewhere of that sort, okay? Then at this moment, what you do is you control your anger, you delay your anger, or you stop that anger until you see that person or you meet that person. You go into a private space or a place where it's not that public or crowded. There you vent out your anger. So this emotion is purely a choice. And you can say, oh Krishna, this is like, you're saying it so simply, or it's very easy for you to say. Right, it's very easy to say, but if you can really channelize that, if you can really be aware of all your things happening around you or with you, then it should be not that difficult. Just imagine this. So you are viewing yourself from a third person's angle. So what you do, if you're observing someone, let's say that person is going through some kind of hardship or breakdowns, he'll be going through that emotion, not you, right? So you just keep observing. Similarly, is it possible for us to have a third person point of view to myself? So for example, if I want to view myself, I'll keep observing what my emotions are going through, what are the thoughts are coming, and what and all things which are happening. So I won't react to anything. It doesn't mean that you have to force yourself, but when you are becoming an observer and you're observing your thoughts and everything, then you won't react. And in this moment, what will happen is eventually, you who, let's say you're the observer and you're observing yourself, just think it as a mirror reflection. So you're observing yourself, then these two will become one. The more you react, the more fuel you give. So it's not a mirror image, because you are observing that person and that person is reacting. Then you'll always see these two as two individuals. The moment you stop reacting to everything, then you become one. So why are we discussing all this? Because all these are important for us to break down that who am I. Because we are trying to seek who am I, and there is the ego part which is being built over the years. Because generally, as human beings, as we grow, we are meant to reduce or not have ego, because we understand life more. We understand this materialistic, everything is nothing, it's all nil. But what we end up doing is we become more egocentric. We always try to put ourselves first. We try to put that I first. So I am everything. I know everything, or everyone should bow below me, right? So all these things happen. So we become more egocentric. So the construct of who am I becomes I am the one. So the more you try to understand the flow of it, right, the more you get to know that you are part of this world, and you can't be blaming everyone, right? We say at this point, we say in world, so much corruption is happening, so much you know crimes are happening, and so on. You are part of the world, so I think you need to transform first, because you reflect the world basically. So does it mean that, okay, whatever crime is happening outside, is it because of me, or is it because something of me? No, but everyone's consciousness is same. So as human beings, we all have common conscious. What do I mean by common conscious is that, for example, if I'm feeling hunger, a person who is like 10 miles, or 100 kilometers away, whoever is having hunger, that specific feeling is same for both, for me and that person as well. And 10 100 people who are feeling that kind of who don't have food, or if they're starving, their feeling of starving and my feeling of starving is going to be same. When the pain can be same, when the happiness can be same, when the hurt can be same, when the anger can be same, why not the consciousness? Because the world consciousness is same as our consciousness. And there is also something called as manifestation, which people say, right? If you don't understand the manifestation, then it's the common consciousness. You are consciously you're having a determination saying that you will be able to achieve certain things, and you're putting efforts to that. And the same thing is being conveyed to the nature. And the nature creates things so that you are achieving those. That's how the consciousness, or getting into the consciousness, works. So when we start transforming, when we can see, when we are transforming truly, then I think even the world will transform. Yeah. Thank you.